All right, let's talk about the credit card project, the spreadsheet portion of this. First of all, I've kind of messed up the dates here, so I'm going to straighten these out. 12/1/19, that's this coming December. Then it should have been 1/1/2020. And then if I take and highlight those two boxes, grab the corner and drag down, that should correct the dates there. So it becomes January 1st, February of next year, all the way down to January of the following year, and so on. You don't have to play with the three here. All I want you to do is put in your purchase interest rate. And a lot of you have seen numbers like 12, 13, 14, 15%. Just type in 15%, press enter, and I'll need to widen this column because it's saying it can't represent. There's the 15%. Now, if you have an introductory offer of 0% so I'm just typing 0, enter. And if it lasts for several months, then let's see, I've got it now for 6 months, but it might go for 12 months or 13 or 14 or 15. I'll just say it's 12 months introductory rate. So I just copy down so it has the introductory rate. Now, right now it's showing no interest on purchases because we haven't made any new purchases. Cash advance rate, and I'm going to make that, see, I made the regular interest rate 15. I'll say the cash advance rate I'll leave it 20%. It's got 5% in here for some reason. So I'm just going to highlight a few boxes here and copy 20% down so it stays 20%. Now the minimum payment, I told a few people a few errors on that one. The minimum payment is a formula, and that's up here. And that's because the minimum payment is either 3% or 4% or whatever percentage you have it as. Right now, this spreadsheet is thinking it's always 3%. Now, you can change it to 4% or 5% by just typing in that number and copying it down. But the payment depends on this number. It's 3% of the balance, or at least, and right now it says at least $20. You see the two 20s up here? Now, if your minimum payment is $30, then both of these 20s should be 30. And so if I change them both to 30, then it'll make the minimum payment be 30. And I can just copy that down and that will correct it. And I need to go on down further for later on. And one of the people in the scenario changes to 50 at some point. And so you need to change those now 30s to 50. Okay. The rest of the sheet should be fairly automatic. Let's say I have a new purchase of $300 I bought. And let's say there's an annual fee of $20. I have to pay the annual fee up front. And let's say I have no cash advances that first month. And so it says it's going to make a minimum payment of $30, and it'll pay off that $300 by September 1 if I don't make any other payments. And my total payments would be $300, and total loan was $300, and I paid it off. And that's because I didn't have to pay any interest for over that time period because my introductory offer was 0%. Now, if I'd had some other percentage, then my total payments would have been more than $300. But let's go ahead and put in something here. Let's put in a cash advance, which does have an interest rate. Let's say in January, I spent some by January, I'd spent another $600 on Christmas gifts, and I wanted to have a cash advance of $100 so I could have it when I go over Christmas. So by January 1, I've already had this cash advance. And let's say my cash advance fee was $10 or 5%. Well, 5% of $100 is $5. But if the minimum is $10, then I have to pay a cash advance fee of $10. So now you can see that I'm still paying minimum payments because 3% of the total amount I owe is not over $30. And now you can see I'm getting some interest charge here, and that's on my cash advance. My total payments, this is the 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, adding up. My total loans, now I've had $300 on my purchases. Then the next month I had $600 in purchases and $100 on cash advance. So I've got $1,000 total in loans. And my $30, the first month, it went all towards purchases. But in the second month, since the interest rate is higher on cash advances, it's putting it towards the cash advances until it pays off that $100, and then it starts putting the $30 onto purchases. So anyway, I just keep going through, putting in, let's say I decide not to spend any money in February, but in March, by March 1st, I spent another $50 and didn't do any more cash advances. And the next month, I decided, I had a birthday for my mom, and so I spent $500 on my mom. And these are still low interest rates, but notice now my payment is over $30, and that's because it exceeded the 3%. So this is where you need to watch and make sure you put that correct formula in here. The $30, and then if it gets over $30, then it does the 3%. Pretty much that's how you fill this out. What you want to watch out for is you don't want to go over the limit of $3,000 that I said you had on your card. So if I all of a sudden in June 1 I have to pay for some extra tuition or something, $1,000. My total loans not over $3,000. Come back in September and I spend another $1,000 on tuition. I've just gone over, and a red light lights up here. And once you reach your limit, the interest rates go up. So you now have to change both interest rates to the new interest rate. And let's see, what else do you have to do? And quit using your card. So then you will not use your card anymore, and just kind of watch and see how long it takes you to pay off your bill. Now, the total interest charge, you can see it's just growing and growing and growing, and the balance, my payments is going up and up and up. The final balance is slowly going down. You can see it going down here. Now I need to fix the minimum payment here too, to have it be 30 further on down, so I can just grab any one of these that has 30s in it up here and keep on going down with the 30s. And I finally pay it off somewhere around, got to get the dates down here. Corrected. So here they're going correctly. So I'm going to highlight several of them and drag it down. And let's see here. They're corrected. I'm paid off. Go back up here. I paid it off by, are these dates corrected? I finally paid off the loans I had by the July 2029. That's a long time to pay it off. And let's see, go up back up here. There's something you can do. If I click on this box, I can go up to View and choose freeze panes. And then when I scroll, it'll keep that top row up there. So if I come back here, down here, I can see that my total payments, my total loans, I didn't borrow any more. I only borrowed the $3,550. But my total on my payments, by the time I paid it off, here's where I paid it off. My total payments was $5,293 on the $3,550 that I borrowed. So it took me a long time and a lot of money to pay it all off. So that's what I want you to kind of work on with the scenarios. Once again, the main thing you got to be careful on is the minimum payment. Change the 30s. Don't just put in your minimum payment amount. Okay?